If you look at portfolio impact and optimization, how much gold is good to have in a portfolio? So what we did was we created a hypothetical portfolio, 70% equities and 30% fixed income products. And we progressively added gold to it, ranging anywhere between 7.5 to 15%. And we saw that the risk adjusted returns of a hypothetical portfolio with gold were much better than without. Gold also reduced the volatility in a portfolio. The reward to risk was better and the drawdowns was much lower. So general characteristics are that gold actually in a portfolio improves the risk adjusted returns. We also think that going beyond 15% doesn't really improve the returns so much. It brings down the volatility, no doubt, but the returns really don't go up. When it comes to investing, it's important to understand what is the size of your investment. How often are you going to rebalance investment, as in buy or sell part of your allocation in your portfolio? What are the operational considerations? Is physical delivery required? So a lot of people actually buy gold from a long-term perspective. For example, we know people in India who buy gold for their children's weddings or for education, which is probably 10 years for now, for example. In which case you wouldn't buy jewelry because if it's for weddings, the designs change, the trends change. It doesn't make sense to have jewelry. You are better off buying good asset, which is today gold-backed ETF or bars and coins. If you need to actually touch and feel the gold, then of course bars and coins is good way to get exposure to gold. But you end up paying locker charges or you risk theft if you keep it in your house. Whereas ETFs today give you the advantage of having allocation to gold in a demat form. So in terms of products that are available in India, which are regulated, are gold ETFs. You have gold savings funds, or you also have multi-asset funds. Gold ETFs, by regulations, are backed by 24 karat pure gold, and the issuer of the ETF needs to ensure that their gold is vaulted properly. You have to audit, the gold that is vaulted at least twice a year, and typically each unit of ETF is equivalent to 0.01 gram of gold. Minimum amount of gold that you can buy through the ETF. I don't think there is any other physical product, so you won't get a bar or coin that is 0.01 gram, but ETF allows you that exposure. A gold savings fund or fund of fund is a wrapper on an ETF for investors who don't have a demat account. And you also have a new asset class called multi-asset funds, where by regulation there has to be a minimum of 10% by the fund house in each of the three asset classes, which is equity, debt, and a precious metal like gold. Of course, you can do systematic investment plans, both fund of fund and the multi-asset fund route, and you also don't need a demat account for these two categories. In terms of performance, both of them give you the same performance. Today, what counts as investments is bars, coins, and ETFs, and of course, the wrappers. So whether it's a multi-asset fund or a gold savings fund, but jewelry is not investment. When you go to sell it, you are never going to get its price, right? Because the jeweler will reduce the making charges, and also the price transparency is missing. Whereas if you look at ETFs, there's price transparency because they're all traded online. It's on the exchange. Bars and coins, the making charges is much lower. Gold is a proven asset class. Gold is a safe haven. It has been around for centuries. It doesn't belong to any government, right? Gold is a metal that's present all over the world. It doesn't really belong to one country or one economy, and it also therefore doesn't have a counterparty risk. It's an insurance for your portfolio.